Hi everyone, this is Tom Passerell, your professor, and I hope you had a wonderful break. This will be a very short lecture focusing on a few things about Chapter 10, followed by instructions for an assignment that is due on Sunday, March 16th. And that also is the date that many other things are due, like your DB3 and your Quiz 3. I wanted to go through a few things here and to kind of keep it traditional. I have a few current event slides. Now, since this is being taped, you're not going to be able to address these, but I am giving you the PowerPoint, and at the end of this little mini lecture I'm going to give you an assignment and I'll explain exactly what to do, and you will be using some content from these questions in addition to answering them correctly, I hope. This whole thing is worth 20 points if you do it, minus 20 if you don't, but I'll get to that later on. So the first question, the Anaheim Ducks of the National Hockey League recently rebranded itself. That included referring to their fans as, and you have four choices: Orange County citizens, Orange Country citizens, Disney Ducks citizens, Anaheim Angry citizens. Okay? Like I said, you do have this PowerPoint. You can go back. Question 2. Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield are reportedly looking to reacquire their iconic ice cream brand. Who currently owns Ben & Jerry's? You have Borden's, Kraft Heinz, ConAgra, and Unilever. Question 3. Which grocer CEO, Rodney McMillan, suddenly resigned after internal investigation found him guilty of certain personal conduct? Was he with Albertsons, Myers, Kroger, or Publix? Question 4. This year's Academy Award presentation, the Oscars, was watched by how many people? 19.7, 25.2, 16.3, 18.6, and of course those were all million. And the last question, which of the following energy drink brands ran a daylight savings themed ad that, quote, gave you back all the feelings of energy those damn clocks stole from you? Was it 5 Hour Energy, Celsius, Red Bull, or Jocko Go? Okay, you probably noticed that some of these questions had green color for certain words. Anaheim Ducks, Ben & Jerry's. Now this doesn't. There's a reason why, because it would give the answer away. And here, Academy Award, the same thing with question 5. I would give the answer away. That green means something, which, like I said, I'll get to you in a second. Okay, I'm only going to cover just a couple little things in this chapter. We've really focused a lot on digital marketing already, especially with the Instagram case. But I wanted to touch on a couple things as they relate to your little assignment. Just a general definition: digital media. You know what it is: electronic media that function using digital codes and so on, computers, cell phones, smartphones, and all that. And of course, the marketing is the use of all those to get the message across, the communication with either consumer or business buyers. Now, I'm not going to play it, but in this, I did attach a file that has to do with a brief overview of digital marketing, all right, in 5 minutes. In fact, one of the groups, I believe, used some of this in their presentation of Instagram, so it might be a repeat, but it's a good idea to watch it because it does give you some fundamentals on how it's used. Okay? And there's all kind of types, as you know, and we've covered these in class ad nauseum. Whether it's a social media, whether it's a blog, whether it's a podcast, and I have that down here in my Ad Age podcast, which I tell you all about every week. Something a little bit more related to job search. And this is, of course, probably you identify as a Google Wallet. I have to tell you a funny story because I had 2 gift certificate cards loaded on it, but I was too naive or just silly to figure out how I could get both of them up there. In other words, use them. And somebody that was a lot younger than me showed me how to do it, and now I know. I am going to show you something related to TikTok. Now, as you know, TikTok has been in the news since it was by a Chinese concern, and the Supreme Court kind of more or less outlawed it. Our President, Trump, delayed that abolishment, and it's still going strong. In fact, I think it was down for no more than a few hours, and then it came back, and it's as strong as ever. But what I find fascinating is the barrage of commercials related to TikTok, trying to promote it. And it's getting a lot of national attention. In other words, this marketing campaign is trying to convince people that it's a good thing for a small business. So I'm going to play one, and you may have seen this. So
$7 million U.S. businesses rely on TikTok to compete.
Within a week of posting, I had over $25,000 in sales.
I don't have $1 million to put towards marketing and branding. TikTok was the way, and it saved my company.
We had a video do really good this week. Sales were up 29%.
About 80% of my business right now is from TikTok.
Small businesses thrive on TikTok.
TikTok brings in so much foot traffic.
I need TikTok to keep growing. We have so much more work to do.
So you can see how marketing is important even to these sites that do a different type of marketing. And that leads me to the next slide. This is from your textbook, e-text, kind of describing some of the unique characteristics of digital media versus regular marketing channels. And you have 5: addressability, interactivity, accessibility, connectivity, and control. And then you have the definitions here. They're kind of straightforward, plus some examples that were adequate. Now, you can give a lot more examples, and that's kind of what you're going to be doing here in a moment. So, what you're going to be doing is an assignment to take care of this lack of coming together this Tuesday. And you have 2 things to do. One, you're going to answer the 5 current event questions. Okay? Just the letter. And then the other big assignment, and it's really not big, is to pick any one of the 5 brands designated in green. Question 3 and 5 will be the correct answers. So in other words, there are 5 brands and one event that are part of these questions. The Anaheim Ducks is a brand. Ben & Jerry's is a brand. The correct answer to this is a brand. The Academy Award is a brand. And the correct answer to this is a brand. So once you do the test, you can choose any of the 5 brands that are designated in green. Then you're going to choose any of the digital media types from slide 9 for your brand of choice. And I'll just back up to slide 9. Any of these, and if there's another one that is related to social media, digital media, that's fine too, but I would prefer if you chose one of these. And then last but not least, you're going to describe in 4 to 6 sentences how that media type exhibits one of the 5 characteristics listed on slide 10 for your brand. All right, so let me kind of repeat. You're going to do the 5 current event questions. Then you're going to pick any one of the 5 brands that come from these questions. You're going to choose one of these different types of digital media, and then you're going to choose one of these characteristics, and in 4 to 6 sentences, tell me how that digital media exhibits that particular characteristic for the brand. All right? And then you are going to submit your worksheet via Canvas. Now, let me bring up the worksheet. So this is in Canvas, week 9, day 1 activity. Here are your question numbers, and then just put in the A, B, C, or D in each one of these. Give me your brand of choice. Give me the digital media type of choice. And then give me 4 to 6 sentences on how this media type for your brand addresses one of these characteristics of digital media. Okay? Fill it out, submit it in the assignment bucket that I provided in Canvas, and then you've completed that assignment. And if everything is worked out, you'll get 20 points. If you don't do it, you won't get 20 points. And if you do some of it, you'll get some points, but not as many as you should. All right? The next time we meet is Tuesday, March 18th, and we'll be covering Chapter 13, Services Marketing, as well as a moving up portion of Chapter 11 when we get into our second P, which is product. And then also on Thursday, March 20th, we do the cycle of presentations again. And this will be the second time Team A will be presenting, and they're going to tackle the FedEx case in Chapter 13. And then we'll continue on with the rest of the 5 teams, either a team teach or a case. All right, and that'll be the second half of the semester. It'll go by quickly, I'm sure. That's it. If you have any questions, please write me. I'm going to be somewhat difficult to get a hold of the next several days, but I will be addressing my email in the evening. As you know, I'm going to San Antonio for this conference of people that teach marketing. So a little brainstorming and design. But I'll be thinking of you, and good luck with everything. Thank you.